Okay, hello people. Welcome back to the Unboxable podcast. This is episode 7. Now we're at, so that's 7 episodes of valuable knowledge and insight, and also laughs and jokes that we're coming to bring to you. So we're back today. It's James, it's Roman. You know what I'm saying? The road man, Roman. He's out on the roads, he's out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? He's sliding. I might be sliding. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling today? It's early morning over there, you got, ain't you?
It's not too early. It's fucking 8:30. So if you're a piece of shit, then yeah, it's early. But half the day's already over. So I'm excited to see the morning juices flowing because usually I'm hopping off on here about 2 or 3 p.m. So right now it's early. I'm ready to go anytime. You know what I mean? I just got done taking a shit on my dog's chest, uh, comprised, of course, of burrito and hot sauce. And I should have just shit in the toilet. It would have been quicker. I had to clean that shit up after, but we're here now.
Yeah, well, sometimes dogs they like to roll in fox shit and stuff like that to disguise their scent. So really and truly, now your dog's gonna really smell like a human. He's really gonna be pulling up on bitches. You know what I'm saying? Watch out for Roman's dog. He really might go take your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Or take your man.
I wasn't shitting on my dog out of heinous. I was giving it an invisible cloak.
Yeah, you can't see it. You can smell him from a mile away. You can't see it though.
Yeah, who'd think to give your dog a superpower, all you have to do is drop a shit on its head.
Yeah, nah. Obviously, Roman's dog's gonna be taken to the emergency room later.
I'm fucking with you. I'm a comedian. Everything I say is a joke. Never shit on my dog. But I think something that's big right now that's coming out is they did this Civil War movie. They're coming out with that. Obama produced it, like funded half of it. Did you see that? That's coming out in the US. It's about the US Civil War. It comes out in like, I want to say April.
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, there's a huge movie, like a blockbuster movie. Obama like funded a lot of it and helped like direct it. And it's called Civil War. It comes out like late April in the US and it's literally set in now. And it's a civil war that would happen now. I'm pretty sure what I understand by like reading about it is it's like Texas and California join forces, a bunch of other states join forces. There's like 4 or 5 different like states that like get join. One Texas and California would never fucking join forces. That's how you know that shit was fucking stupid. Those places would be fighting first. But regardless, it put like the main plot. I'm pretty sure when I was reading it, it said it's like Wyoming fighting Colorado.
For real.
Swear, bro. And I was like, nah, bro. Out of 38 states, I happen to be in the two that are fucking the main war ground because they're like part of different coalitions, I guess, and they happen to be bordering states, and that's like where the main fight is at. It's in Wyoming, Colorado. It's like they're bombing each other and shit. So yeah, that kind of pissed me off, bro. I couldn't pick like fucking North Dakota and like Minnesota or some shit like that, dude. Anywhere but where I'm at. Like, what the fuck, dude?
But they know where this shit's going on. At the same time, so let's say that's real. You're behind enemy lines right now, huh? Which side you taking?
I'm not taking either side because they're both fucking retards. One side stones the gays and the other side fucking tries to fucking kids, bro. It's kind of hard to fucking pick between two retards.
Yeah, that's fact. Well, let me guess what happens at the end of the war. There's a civil war, and then the fucking government wins, and everyone's fucking still killing babies and fucking doing bullshit. Guessing that's what's going to happen.
I'm not sure, probably, dude, because it's all orchestrated by the government, dude. If there's a civil war, there's it's all fucking orchestrated within, dude. I'm pretty sure. Like, who's really gonna be fighting? Like, what are they fighting about? Like,
Yeah, everything's made so confused. It's like you don't even know what you're fighting for. It's like people feel the need to fight because they know something's wrong and you feel it within you. But then it's the hardest part is knowing what you're fighting for, and shit's made purposely confusing. I feel like, and even so, like on the brink of a civil war, like a real one, they bring out a movie and try and, what I'm saying? It's just weird timing that we've been speaking about these things and feeling that these things might come, and it's a weird time, and suddenly they bring out a movie to do with that sort of shit. It's almost like it's either trying to take away that need, like make it so it's not real. Like a movie's not real, so there's like these needs for this civil war almost takes the need away for it by getting it
Yeah,
for a movie.
yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people know about like cinematic realism, predictive programming. But one of the things that movies also do is just like you said, it's fantasy fulfillment. And it's things like that. So like if they fear something can happen, there's a potential that they could play and our subconscious is now satisfied. Like it feels like it went through it. So it's like not gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like a fantasy fulfillment.
Yeah.
They also had that movie come out like 3 weeks ago. I don't watch fucking movies. I just study everything, and I want to see what's going on in the media. They dropped a movie, I think it's called like Leave the World Back or Leave the World Behind or some shit like that. But it was literally just about like a series of countries cyber attacking the America into complete desolation to where like the grid's destroyed and everything's like goes sideways.
Yeah, there's a load of shit they do with that. Like, did you see recently they did a film about Napoleon, right? It was like a big film, like a blockbuster or whatever. Obviously, of a man who was fighting against similar sort of thing that we're fighting against, rose to power by himself like a leader. You know what I'm saying? Managed to take over, managed to do this. And do you know how they portrayed him in the film? As a simp, as a dickhead, as a cut, as a loser. It's like immediately they're already plugging into your subconscious that if someone does come forward and tries to fight and does this sort of thing, people immediately associate that type of person with what they're being portrayed as, what they showed in the film. It's literally just another form of programming.
Yeah, I think as we go on with this, and uh, since we literally do not have any topics, we're not discussing, we don't take any funding, we're not lobbyists, we'll never will take any funding. That's all we care about is fighting the good fight, pretty much. There will come a point where they will be at your neck. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, it works both ways. You know what I'm saying? The only reason anyone will be at our necks because we are theirs. You know what I'm saying? We know what it is. And at the end of the day, we see in the end, they don't want to start with us. We see in the end, they don't want to start with us.
What's it look like?
Doesn't look good for them, buddy. I mean, at the same time, it's one of those ones where you look at it and all the stuff they've got, all the equipment and all the technology and this, that, and the other, but I just don't think they got it in them. I don't think they got the fight in them. They ain't got the hunger. You know what I'm saying? Their time's up.
They don't, but they'll fucking gladly hire fucking little Paco out of the slums of fucking Rio, that moved to the US to fucking that does have it in them.
Yeah, and then obviously all the fucking military they have, the whole idea of the military is you break them and then you make them, you completely destroy their subconscious, fucking program it with signs and symbols and fucking submitting to power and fucking breaking you until you become a fucking like down on your knees and literally turn you into a fucking robot zombie. So, I mean, they got plenty of them. But at the same time, the warriors they really aren't in the military, most of them, they're laying bricks. You know what I'm saying? They're at the football stadiums. You know what I'm saying? The case it is in England, like you see someone that's in the police or the army or whatever, and they're not warriors. Like most of them are soft. Like remember that class we were in, the one where I met you in the States, the guy that's sitting on our table, he's like supposed to be some military guy, but I haven't seen anyone so soft in my life. You're supposed to be a warrior, fight for our country, but I wouldn't trust you to fucking run a bath for me, let alone fucking run into fucking enemy territory. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the warriors and the people that should be doing that aren't doing that. So it tells you a lot about how the system's working and what sort of people are being used for these things.
Well, it's usually a bunch of Joe Blows and Johnny Donuts anyway, joining the fucking military. It's not like it's the cream of the crop, athletic freak shows, with all
That's
these different skills and geniuses, dude. They're fucking
Dude, that's what it used to be. Like the military people, like the military leaders, like fucking Genghis Khan or like Napoleon or Alexander the Great. Like these military leaders were the super geniuses, and they were fucking like, and all their warriors, bro. You hear about stories of Sparta and this, that they weren't just fucking Joe Blow off the streets. We're talking about fucking top athletic fucking genius fucking talent. That was the warriors. Those are the people fucking like going to war wasn't just fucking like running into a fucking enemy territory and just like with a sword. It was like a whole fucking like it was like football and basketball and fucking soccer and fucking every sport put together in one with fucking game plans and fucking we're gonna do here. Like it was like the biggest fucking sport that you could play. It's like the most ancient and fucking like most fucking profound sport that exists.
Well, we have in the US an attorney general, and we also have the president is the commander in chief, but I would no way in any form send them on the front line anywhere besides to Dunkin' Donuts to pick up a fucking 12 piece.
And that wouldn't even make it back. That pretty
Yeah,
much.
I wouldn't send Joe Biden there. He wouldn't make it back, but he'd come back with KFC. I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? You have one job. Donald Trump would come back with all white glazed donuts. I'd be like, bro, I wanted the black sprinkled cake donuts. I'd be like, no, I hate Negroes.
He wouldn't even say it. And to be fair, he'd probably fucking run out as soon as he realised a Mexican was serving him over the counter. Dude would probably have a fucking heart attack, fucking have to fucking flee out of there, build a fucking wall around fucking
Yeah,
Krispy Kreme or some shit.
yeah, he'd skip Dunkin' Donuts and go right to the Lox Bagels. Support his lobbyist.
Yeah, so even people like Donald Trump, right? He was like apparently someone was telling me this. So see like a lot of Tesla's work. Obviously, we know where Tesla was working out of. He was down in Colorado, which isn't by accident, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Things where people come from, where people are, these sorts of places, the energy they have and the meaning they have. It's not an accident that Wyoming and Colorado are in that film and that Tesla is in Colorado. There might be some important people in and around Colorado and Wyoming right now. But apparently a lot of his documents and a lot of the stuff he was studying was what came into the hands of Trump's family. Have you heard of that? Like they took quite a lot of the things that he had, and obviously Trump was born into whatever he had and was essentially just placed into a position to be president. And obviously he's the biggest clown that exists.
Yeah, I think his because he does come from a pretty intelligent bloodline. Like you said, he comes from money. His parents had a lot of money, and they also had a lot of government affiliation, and the government took all of his shit. So yeah, there is things that like they have some of their technology or whatever. I think the two are the ways that come to mind for me to literally upend this bitch, like 180, the fucking switch the fucking north to the south pole, like change the whole fucking magnetic north would be changing the power base through either the energy system. So like if you can create ether and mass distribute it, or like create something that undermines their current energy system so they can't keep forcing people to pay for it for one. That's the biggest money, dude. You think of who has the most money? I guess like there's children trafficking and shit, drugs and shit. That's a lot. But like really energy, dude, that makes trillions. Like the people in Saudi, they have trillions of dollars from pulling oil. Like energy is so huge in money, bro. That's like the Turner. And then the other way is if you created something greater power wise, weapon wise than is currently now. So let's say we know they probably have more, but let's say they all have nuclear weapons right now. And you were able to create that Tesla death ray where you just pretty much have a button and you could fucking level a continent. You could pretty much privatize world peace at that point because who's gonna fuck with you? Like you could literally tell everyone to cease fire everywhere. Their continent is literally fucking lasered. And you can even like have it to where you fucking laser that shit so bad that you engrave that shit out the earth. You make another ocean crater because you want to get the military fucking bases out of there too.
That's true, by the way. But that's a tough position to get into, man. Because especially if you think about, the energy and stuff. Say what Tesla was doing, right? A lot of the reasons that he didn't pop off was because his conception of energy wasn't. You couldn't monetize it, right? They needed that conception where you could monetize it and still play their system and obviously retain it. So obviously they know very well. And talking about Saudis, I think this is interesting. Well, you see a lot of the boxing events are happening in Saudi now, right? They like gaining a lot of soccer players, like getting people over there. We've just had the Wilder and Parker fight. We've just had the Joshua fight against the Walling guy, and apparently Joshua and Ngannou's book now going on in Saudi. Like, why is everything happening over there? Surely it's bigger than just because they can pay more money. Like, why do they want everything happening over there? Why is everything going on over there? Like, what sort of goal do they have going on here, do you think?
I think well, one, Saudi Arabia has a lot of fucking money, so they could kind of put on these nonsensical boxing events in the sense that they don't make money. Like business wise, you're not going to pay these headliners millions of dollars each, and you're only selling fucking 100,000 pay-per-views. It's just not business wise, but they have the money to put it on. Another thing, did you see Wilder and Zhilei Zhang is the undercard fight on that Joshua Ngannou?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, do you know who Zhang is?
Yeah. He beat a guy, Joe Joyce, twice, a British guy. Zealy's
Yeah, yeah.
a
Yeah, so that's going to be a good card. But either way, so they just have money to throw at that. They're pretty much having a party. They're kind of turning that Riyadh area in Saudi Arabia to Las Vegas. And I think it's just like when one goes, you leave. And really what I mean by that is you see Rolex doesn't even really make gold shit anymore. Audemars Piguet doesn't even really make gold shit anymore. That's because we're not the first market in the world anymore. The Western market is now behind fucking the Arab market. And so, like that area, it's behind China, and Arabs don't wear gold.
no.
So that shows you right there. Rolex really stopped making a lot of gold shit, all these fancy watches. Like, and that's just one example. It's because we're switching over. You see these cities and you see America, the gates are open in America, dude. It's getting completely consumed. Like the demons are the devil's unleashed here. Like it's literally, I've seen it. Like I literally one time when I was driving through Denver, like I literally saw like it was crazy, bro. But I saw like, you know, that devouring, like the devouring snake that eats its own tail
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like keeps it's like the rebirth snake. I literally saw that thing like eating through like the city. Like it's like on some spiritual shit, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like the gates are open, the gates of hell are really open on the US right now. And it's like it's everything's unleashed. That's why everything's fucking crazy. It's like it's getting destroyed. They did shit they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's essentially coming to a position of anarchy as well, where it's like you see all the stuff, like it manifests in various different ways. And we are speaking the other day even about like OnlyFans and that sort of like it's degrading stuff, and it's such low, like you can just if you just take a step back and you look at it, you know, you can see quite clearly that the floodgates are open on every possible level or medium that you could look at it on. I mean, it's down there with some of the worst possible actions and fucking things that people are participating in, pretty much that you could get. And you know that can only go on for so long. And think things don't just go on like this. You know, something's either gaining momentum or losing momentum. So if we see things are getting bad, they're only and we continue in this way, it's not just going to stay like this forever. It's going to it means it's on a downward trajectory, right? And soon, like it will pop off, and it's about time that it does. And that's why they're coming out of a Civil War film, because they know very well that shit's about to pop up, create confusion.
Yeah, I personally am gonna watch that Civil War film just because I want to know more of what it's saying. And I don't ever watch movies, but I just want to see, what's going on with that shit. Because I'm in the states that it's trying to fucking, go at fucking bullshit. But
That shit is really fucking crazy. The fact that it's come out, they got Obama behind it, and the location of where it's in as well. That shit's almost like they have the secrets of the universe and they know the locations and what's going on, and it's like they're trying to play God, or they're trying to play against God, and they're trying to manipulate it for themselves, and they're really doing the most to try and fucking stop it. It's almost like they're doing that. It's kind of wild.
yeah, I think one of the reasons US used to be like you have to hold covenants when you have a society and when you have people. And when you don't hold covenants and you don't hold yourself to a standard, and you kind of like let these gates open, because who knows what the US military does with spirits and demon channeling, blood sacrifice, blood contracts, all types of shit. You know what I mean? All types of weird shit. We know they do in Hollywood. They sign blood contracts. They work with spirits and demons and or jinn, whatever you want to call them. So whatever the US did, opening portals and letting them fuckers in, they're gonna be destroyed for it.
Yeah. But you can interpret it as well in different ways. So say like the collapse of religion in the West or whatever. So you can see like look at it places where like say in like the Muslim world or other places where those things haven't collapsed. You know, obviously in the Western world it has those sorts of like substructures which kind of found like give you a foundation of collapse. And then you can see if you don't have that sort of thing in a society and you don't have a standard to live by, as we're saying, you know, what happens is basically you fucking go into shit. Everything becomes open. Everything becomes up for grabs. Nothing is off the table. And then at that point, it's like, all right, either we're gonna fucking descend into fucking anarchy and fucking into hell, or I guess some people got to come along, create a new fucking meaning, a new system, a new way of looking at life to improve and get, you know, provide a foundation and a structure for the people to exist within. know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot of what it is, you know. Sometimes for your greatest freedom, you need to be put, you need to have like limits. I know it sounds weird, but it's like freedom's not just doing whatever you want to do at any time. Sometimes for your greatest freedom, you need to be able to restrict things and have certain values, certain standards, and certain things that are off the table and things that you can do. And it creates a better meaning for everyone else. And also I want to ask you another thing. So going back to the Saudi, back into the Saudi question. So obviously so they're not making money off their boxing events, right? So obviously they're not stupid. There's a reason they're doing that. So it's not making them money. Obviously, money is not really a thing for them. What is it that they're gaining off this then? They're gaining publicity. Is it just something as simple as tourism? Is it something as simple as you know, getting their on the map a bit more?
Well, it's significant for a couple of reasons. I mean, the Saudis were bought out by the Jewish people. Let's establish that. Who aren't Jewish, they're pilgrim. They're not Jews at all. They're Khazari, and you can trace their bloodline. That's a whole different fucking conversation. Um, so they're one of the big implications of bringing the Western world and boxing and kind of like pushing it off onto a Middle Eastern country is because that's like, let's go back to what we were talking about in the previous podcast, how Lady Liberty is a woman and there's a spiritual battle between man and women. When you invade Middle East, who has a stronghold on women, and they represent a different spiritual energy than the US currently does, this is huge because you're invading the Middle East. They're selling out now. Like you're breaking through their shit. Like you're letting the women like come through. You get what I mean? And I'm not saying oppress women. I'm not saying oppress men. That's how shit. This is how shit works. This is how the world works. They oppress women in the Middle East. They are everywhere. Like even less so ever. And no, they don't really in the U.S. Honestly, they never really were that oppressed in the U.S. Like they literally went to fucking war to be able to work. Like that's the definition of retarded. You
Yeah,
guys can work. You women can work. I mean, I'll chill at home and fucking I'll take care of the kids and cook.
yeah,
1 meal a day. Not
yeah,
even a day, fucking leftovers most of the time, lazy fucks.
yeah. And they have a fucking philosophy called feminism, which isn't feminine at all. You know, their ideals and their goals, what they want to try and get women to do, are the most masculine possible things. Not to have children, to go to work, to be independent, to do this, to do that, to do this. That is a masculine frame that they're putting on you, and they're calling it feminism. It's masculine. It's not feminine at all. And you know, it's like it's not even oppressing women. It's like women will say, "Oh, we want this and want that," because they've been fucking mind fucked and fucking programmed into bullshit. But anytime you will ask a bitch what restaurant she wants to go to or this, she can't make a decision. You know, she doesn't want to wear the trousers. She doesn't want to do this. She wants to exist in a dynamic where there's a man who makes decisions, who takes responsibility, and who's the one which takes control of situations. You know, at the end of the day, you know, males, they are physically superior. So if you walk into a pub or down the street into a shop, you should be in control of your surrounding environment and you're an area, and you should be self-assured, and you should be in control of what's going on. And you know, if you don't do that, you know, your bitch ain't going to respect you. And no one really does that, which is why guys are getting walked all over and disrespected and fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's so simple to see.
Oh, definitely the women. I think there's no discussion that the women in our generation right now, because I'm still 24. So these bitches are tripping. We'll say that.
Yeah, they big tripping. But you see, like so you said about like obviously we've spoken about before about this sort of Western ideals which have infiltrated loads of places, and obviously it's happening over there in some of like the Muslim areas and in Saudi or whatever. And we've seen it happen recently in Iran, right, where they've been all the Western ideals and cultural phenomenons in the movies, things they're watching. A lot of the women now over there are starting to reject, and they're starting to become outside of their narrative, like substructures and their religion and the things which keep them, and it's causing chaos over there. And so the people that are pushing back over there are obviously going to be called terrorists or whatnot. So you can see the effect that the infiltration of the West on the sort of more stable countries and the countries which have a meaning and they abide by their purpose, what effect it has, and how before long, you know, those things will crumble, and we're seeing the beginnings of it now.
Yeah, you also
Uh, I also wonder where the capital for like a one world government would be. And I almost wonder if it's somewhere over in those regions. I mean, either way, they're riding the US until they can jump off of it because they opened the floodgates on us. You know what I mean? And they're gonna do the same over there. They go over there and everything's coveted and everyone's still holy and they follow these spiritual alignments received from the ninth dimension through a prophet and whatnot. But how long?
It can't keep going on. That's the thing. You start getting people coming over. I remember I saw one of them on the thing. It was a while ago of some one of these bands, some fucking little gay boy bands go over there and they're invited over and they're kissed on stage like a couple of the fucking like band members or some shit and they're like, don't invite us over here and tell us like there's only so long you can start presenting that to your people and bringing it into the country and making it visible and making it on telly and putting money behind it and those things happening. There's only so long you can do that before, it just becomes normalized and it becomes regular. And before you know it, that happens. And in 200 years or 100 years, that guy that went over there and did that is seen as a fucking cult hero for fucking kissing his fucking male fucking bandmate on the fucking lips. Shit's fucking retarded.
Yeah, they're foul. I don't know if we went over this, but I think it's important. So I want to say it one more time. But once again, I do read the symbolism. UFC 300 is a fucking huge event. It's been hyped for years. It's still hyped every day. I see hyped about the card and whatnot. And really, I think that card is going to say a lot symbolically. I mean, if you put Leon Edwards on there versus Bilal Muhammad, that's literally Jewish versus Palestine. Because the Jews are Khazarian, they come from the Pilgrims, you know? So it's like literally the British crown versus Palestine. Like,
Yeah,
and that's World War III, UFC 300.
yeah, that literally is. Like, they might even do some wild shit. Do you hear they were talking about Pereira against Aspinall as well?
Yeah, I heard Pete Pereira against Izzy as well, and Israel's name is fucking Israel.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's put up there? His name is literally Israel, dude.
No, that shit's straight up facts. What do you think about Sean Strickland? Because obviously he's in the UFC and he's part of it, and he some of the stuff that we say or we think he comes out with different opinions to which are known. Do you think he's just part of the trap? Do you think he's another controlled
He
opposition?
he playing his part. He is a strict land. I mean, he's just like the U.S. when it was strict before, and they didn't like gays or women driving or anything.
Yeah, so he's just part of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, like Strickland, like it's a strict land. Like when the US before, like no gays, no women driving, women couldn't vote. Um, like white male, like black people weren't, like were oppressed, blah blah blah. Did he go down the fucking line? Like that's literally kind of what he represents.
So what do you think? So I'd say like taking it back, his fight with Izzy, right? Obviously, we're sort of talking about Izzy Israel, and you've got Sean Strickland, who's been knocked out by Pereira. He's not bad, but you know what I'm saying, like based on you would expect Izzy to take care of him pretty easily, and obviously the way it looked, obviously Strickland was just going in there, and Izzy didn't even seem like he was there. What do you think that sort of symbology represents in that fight?
Um, Alex, I think, represents kind of the Amazon's power. And like in the sense that the Amazon is like the rainforest of the world. You know what I mean? And I think that that's like one of the most richest places in minerals. It represents indigenous people to the land, and that's indigenous Amazonian and the earth versus the non-earth. Like it's literally Israel, the Khazarian pilgrims who like to call themselves Jews and moved into fucking Israel 50 years ago and act like it's their country now. uh, literally, like my grandpa's older than Israel,
Yeah.
and I think that's what it represents personally.
But so why? So all the shit that's going on in Israel over there, like why are they not? I don't understand. Why aren't they just bombing and fucking shooting the shit up out of fucking Palestinian people? Like, why do they want to keep this? Is it almost more torturous for them not to just die, but to keep them alive in poverty and trying to think they can fight against something that has the absolute? It's like putting someone in jail, right? You could just kill someone and they'd be dead, gone, buried, whatever. I almost feel like putting someone in jail for the rest of their life is a worse torture than just killing someone. Like, it's less humane. and they try and make it seem like it's more humane. Do you think that's what they're doing over there? They're literally torturing them.
Yeah. I mean, they just keep like taking their land and moving them further and further west. Now it's just they're pretty much all refined to the Gaza Strip, and even then, it's like controlled by Israel. You know what I mean? So they're kind of just in a little hamster playground. They do have manifest destiny from sea to sea, just like the U.S. had manifest destiny from sea to sea. So that means that they will completely eliminate genocide and try to exterminate the Palestinians. So I wouldn't be surprised if they funded Hamas to create an uprising so they had an excuse to go there and just level the rest with fucking bombs, because they do have manifest destiny, sea to sea conquering. So they will have a country from sea to sea. They do not right now because the Gaza Strip.
Yeah. So what they do as well, it's like they have that goal of doing that. Obviously, they want to take the whole thing. But what they do is they don't just fucking bomb and shoot the shit out of them. What they do is they try and make it seem like Hamas have made a strike and we have to defend ourselves. And we're not trying to do it. We want a ceasefire and we're trying to be nice. You know, we just defending our thing. It's like, no, we see through the bullshit, buddy. It's like you're the one that's been doing this. It's a very clever technique. It's a very clever technique they use, and it fools people into thinking they're the righteous, you know, that someone else has attacked them and they're not trying to fight back. They're just trying to make the peace. But in the end, you know, we just had to go and take it all.
You got to be retarded or racist or both to think that the Israel is in any right. You don't go into somebody's fucking house and sit in their fucking living room and sleep in their living room and then slowly tell them they can't use the kitchen, you can't use the bathroom, can't use the hallways. You kind of just got to stay in your room and then expect them to be like, oh, okay, I'll just chill in my room. You know, I paid for this. I've been here for hundreds, thousands, forever. You know, but yeah, you're right. Fuck it, I'll go in my room.
Well, I suppose they had the power to take it, right? So if you're somewhere and then someone has more power to take it, you know, it's like, what can you do? Like, say there's a sandwich over there on the table, you know, and it's like, I want that sandwich. And there's another guy and he's like, I want that sandwich. And the other guy has more power to take the sandwich. You know, he's like, well, that's my sandwich. It's like, what can they do? Like, they're fighting a losing battle, really. It's a pretty tough situation.
I think they can do something about it. I think there's always something that can be done, but it's definitely looking tight. You know what I mean? You got the U.S. military behind Israel, sending them all types of fucking money. Israel's already a superpower. You know, it's just not looking good, man. They're just a little strip of people with not a lot of shit. So how would they even? I don't get how the Israeli government completely spies on them. We have phones. You can see everything everyone's doing. They have fucking heat detecting border walls, fucking turret face detection, like all types of crazy shit. If you know about the Israeli border, you'd shit your pants, bro. It's literally the craziest, most advanced border in the whole world. Like robot detection, turret guns type shit. And you're telling me there's a fucking big Hamas resistance that assembled completely unknowing to the US and Israel when they have fucking intelligence programs and huge ass algorithms that sweep everything and pick everything up. Like BlackRock literally has Aladdin, which is like a supercomputer, quantum computer algorithm, and it literally predicts stocks. And if you don't know what BlackRock is, BlackRock and Vanguard own the world.
Yeah.
They're hedge funds.
It doesn't, it's like a supercomputer. It's like it predicts stocks. Really and truly, they're just changing the stocks, right? It's like if you know which way the stocks are going up, you know, you can just put your money into anything. You can see where the people are investing and just be like, ah, fuck it. Yeah, let's put that one down today, guys. Let's just make some shit happen. Yeah, let's put that shit down today. We'll put our money in this shit will go up.
Nah, dude, they're using that AI to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's far better, you know what I mean? Like than any human. You can't
super,
predict that shit.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a supercomputer. It's like it's literally just like a game of fucking chess or some shit on a fucking 1,000 levels, fucking being like every possible outcome, every possible.
For for quantum computing, it has to be 0 degrees. And so like you need extreme cooling potential. Like so the only place on the whole world that would like economically be able to use quantum computers would be like Antarctica and like the poles, because literally you're sitting on a huge block of ice. So like there's pretty much just a huge computer, quantum computer, AI weird thing fucking in like Antarctica and like on the poles, like using ice to be cooled.
Yeah,
That's making high level decisions.
yeah, exactly. So then, and you look at it like that, and you see like all the ice is melting, right? Imagine how much power and how much ice is like how much is having to be used just to run that fucking supercomputer if everything's fucking melting around it.
Yeah, but they're saying it's me fucking driving to work
Yeah, but
in my car.
they're saying that that's me because I didn't fucking recycle that plastic bottle yesterday.
Actually, I saw a thing today. My grandpa shared it on Facebook, and my grandpa's like, "If you guys are fucking idiots, pretty much." He's like, "I was alive when they told everyone that paper bags were destroying the planet, and we didn't have any trees left, and now it's plastic. You know, everyone uses plastic, and now it's plastic bags are ruining the environment. They actually are though, because they're all over in the water and shit."
Yeah, they're just being dumped in the fucking water, literally like dumped. And that, but all plastic bags are really so unnecessary. It's like you only need that sort of stuff if you buy in and into a lot of the things. It's like, why would I ever need a plastic bag? Like, really and truly, if you had the proper conditions of your existence and your living, I couldn't think of any possible need for a plastic bag.
Well, not everyone. Oh, well, of course, a grocery store, but if you could walk outside and you had a cow to milk water, I mean, milk, and you had fucking chickens and some fruit trees and shit, yeah, I
Yes,
completely agree with you. Why would you need a plastic bag? But honestly, they did weave bowls back in the day and baskets and shit. So,
but if that shit is destroying the fucking earth and it's destroying the oceans and shit, it's like got to come to a point where it's like, okay, so these plastic bags are fucking destroying this bullshit, but we need it to go to the grocery store. Maybe that's not the way to be living.
well, then they'd have to relinquish control of all the food and the
Okay,
bus, and that they would never do that.
okay. So it comes down to power at the end of the day. Everything comes down to power. That's all it comes down to. Power, land, resources, control. That's all it comes down to.
Bro,
Everything.
you can't legally collect rainwater in the U.S.
Yeah, you can't legally collect rainwater, but fucking they can legally fucking SERP any fucking income or fucking anything you spend because all it is, it's not the law, it's not this, it's not a law in itself. It's not like written as a law. It's just protected for the advantages of certain people. And the police and the military are just a gang which are used to enforce laws which protect the advantages of certain people. That's all it is. That's all the game is.
Yeah, and the laws are always pushed, bro. Like they fucking come out with they draft a bill with 10,000 fucking words that they want passed by the next morning. And everyone in Congress has to sit there fucking for 20 hours. Yeah, right, dude. They fucking skim through it and then pass it. Like literally, if there's a bill and there's a hold, everyone sits there. You know that in Congress, everyone sits there. It doesn't matter how long, what time.
You have to
You
wait.
don't you think them fuckers are trying to sit there?
Oh no.
They don't give a fuck, bro. They're trying to do the least, bro. They're trying to collect money fucking on the side and go back. Like they don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah, but they make it like that, so that shit just gets passed, right? It's just like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
dude, they
it's like, hey,
fucking thousands of pages you have to read in an hour and fucking all in legalese, and you gotta fucking make a decision on the fate of the universe. Fucking yeah, dude. Fucking these fucks are dumb, dude. Fuck them pages, bro. They're so lucky that we give a fuck about what's on the page. Like the only reason we give a fuck on the page is because they have domestic military, which is police.
okay, exactly. That's literally all it is. It's just a gang. It really and truly, if when you start breaking it down, you become aware of everything. It's literally just an organized gang. That's literally all it is.
In Cali, though, dude, it's pretty wild. I mean, like when I was in California, me and Garrett were whipping, and there's like it's pretty lawless, bro. I mean, there's streets and shit. There's not enough cops and shit. That's almost too far on the other side. And not even so. I actually like it more like that because